In this week's Radio Dork news, the Texas county of Angelina is building a dedicated ham radio station at its Emergency Operations Center to ensure and maintain communications for emergency responders during severe weather, when internet and other communications systems often fail. As reported on the KLTV.com website, Ricky Connor, the Angelina County Emergency Management Coordinator, was quoted as saying that the county has a licensed ham radio operator for the county's Emergency Operations Center, and he hopes to have it rigged up in time for the next big emergency event. In a stunning 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court of the United States has upheld the constitutionality of the FCC's enforcement power and procedures under the 7th Amendment of the Constitution. This decision affirms that the FCC can continue to issue fines without first holding a jury trial. The Supreme Court justices ruled that large forfeiture orders, also known as monetary fines, do not create an immediate duty to pay, and that companies can still get a full jury trial in court if and when the government attempts to collect the fines. The decision reverses one appeals court ruling but upholds another, leaving the FCC's enforcement processes unchanged under federal law. A group of amateur radio operators in the UK are pushing to have convicted sex offenders banned from attaining an amateur radio license. The petition, organized by MM9SRU, an amateur radio operator based in the United Kingdom, urges Ofcom and the RSGB to implement new systems that would check new amateur radio license applications for previous convictions of sexual offenses, introducing assessments for any current license holders with convictions for sexual offenses, establishing guidelines for safeguarding responsibilities, and consulting with victims, groups, and relevant authorities before implementing any changes. Critics argue that implementing restrictions on sex offenders on amateur radio could severely limit ham radio usage and growth in the hobby, while proponents of the sex offender ban point to the amount of support that the petition has received so far as proof that removing sex offenders from the hobby would have little to no impact on ham radio usage. So far, the petition has collected over 160 signatures, and that's part of our world tonight. Join me again next week, or sooner, when I may or may not do this again.